that's the wrong one. That's the one. Thanks, Wiz. Brilliant. Finally, we're there. Pressed the wrong button, didn't I? Repeatedly, it turns out. How are you all? It's Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Textile Tuesday. We have got for you today all sorts of glorious bundles for you. Kaffe is at an all-time record low price for us today. We're just clearing the very last bits of it. We used to have so much Kaffe, and we're down to the last little eeks and beaks, which we need to go before we can get the next lot in. So that's where we are at today. What are we making today? We're going to be having a look at some applique. Oh, I need to put my iron on, don't I, if we are appliquing all over the place. How did these come about? So my original ever floral applique in the Kaffe was my Everlasting Bouquet. We still have that, and we have kits that have, because it's really hard to get hold of that shark's tooth, we have kits with that shark's tooth and all of the steamer seam that you would need. I've only got 3 left, but yeah, if you fancy doing that, there is still the pattern available, and there is still the background stuff. Those florals aren't available in those colourways anymore. I've got 1 unit of this hydrangea left in a different colourway. That is it. The rest are all in kits. But the beautiful thing about the Kaffe Facet Collective is Kaffe's incredible detail for colour. And so they just really, really, really pop. So today we're going to be looking at appliquing those onto black velvet, which, the mixture of these colours onto a black velvet background just makes the whole thing pop. But I'm going to show you what fabrics we've got left. That's my iron, having a little word on the matter. Well, I'm going to show you the kits that we've got so that you can make your own at home. If you want to top up on any of these florals, then please do. They're at £5.99 a half metre. They should be over £8, just to give you an idea of just how much you are saving today. But when they're gone, they're gone. That's it. No, that is it. That is it. So yeah, it's just an awful lot of fun. Fabrics that I would say would be fab to do as a background instead of the spot that I've got there, something like this checkerboard would be brilliant. Now you'll notice on my desk I've got flowers everywhere, and I just want to say that if you are looking to do these applique flowers, don't underestimate, I mean look at those on there, isn't that rather fabulous? Don't ever underestimate doing this with your little ones. Oh, actually, that looks really nice. Oh, I'm liking this. Because my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, cut these out. So don't think that they can't get involved. And then this morning she said, Mummy, can I cut out some more of the flowers? Can I do the flower cutting? Can I do the flower cutting? So this is something that you can get the little ones involved with as well. Let me just get that one. I'm not sure if I've missed a trick here, because that looks really rather lovely. Imagine that in the corner of a cushion or the corner of a wash bag or something like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Might be seeing a different make this morning then. But I just wanted to show you these ones Emily cut out for herself. And I think that's pretty special. So for those of you that go, oh, I can't cut things out, if a 6-year-old can, you can too. There we go. Right, so this is your checkerboard. I love this one. It reminds me of Vans. If any of you remember the brand Vans, then that's what that reminds me of. I've got it in 3 different colourways. Here. We haven't really done that much with it. I've got a great make for these tomorrow. A really lovely make for these tomorrow. Janie, that's my iron. That's what the rattly noise is. And I don't know if it just needs a little bit of, I'm a bit scared to let out a little bit of, oh no, hang on. Reduce the pressure. Just, yeah, I know. So Jane, bless her, has been helping me finish off some samples. Have we got a cushion pad anywhere? We must have, surely. What's in that purple one? And this is one of the cushions that we've been working on. But poor Jane's machine was not happy with the situation this morning. Do you know what it turned out to be? The thread. The thread, would you believe? Yeah, see if you can stuff that in. Thanks, Jane. So there were all sorts of words coming out of Jane's mouth that I'm not used to hearing from Jane.
For when I'm driving.
Wow! Usually reserved for road rage. You heard it here. Our Janio, who would have thought it? She's so mild-mannered and placid normally. However, get her behind the wheel of a car on a wet, rainy day, and who knows what's going to happen. Hey, Jane, look, I was just saying, you won't have seen because you were busy doing, but look, I think we've missed a trick here, because look at these.
Oh, how cool are they?
Look at those appliqué onto there.
They're gorgeous.
That's surely got to be some sort of something. Emily needs a new school bag.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
With her flowers that she cut out. These are the ones that she cut out. Do you know how I know, Jane? Because that
really
doesn't...
precise.
They are really precise, yeah. But also this one doesn't have any of the heat and boil steamer seam on it. She's just cut it out anyway, into the selvage. She's got really excited. Wiz was here, Izzy Wiz was here when she was doing it, and it was just a matter of, she's been talking at me for the last hour and a half. Please, can you give her a job to do, Tash? I was like, okay, good. Oh, thank you, Jane. So they are available, like I say, by the half metre, $5.99 a half metre of cave now, Jane. Wow. Wow, wow. There we go. Actually got a cushion pad in it. So you can have it, it's kind of multi-directional, this one, whether you want to have it that way or whatever. We're going to look at how to play with these today, because in the original we had massive, great big blooms, but actually this has got a more folky feel. I've done a background basic layer, like a wreath sort of shape, of leaves, and then dotted various other ones around. So it's got more of a folky feel on it, but I love it, and I love them with a bright, oof. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So that's what we're making today. And well done, Jane, for getting that done this morning for me. She's just been finishing it off. So let's have a look then at what else we've got. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit of this one in lime. Is that? I can never remember if that's Roman glass. It is Roman glass. One of the original ones. Beautiful. And then we have got the paisleys. I love the paisleys. This is Pasha Paisley. We've got it in the purple. I love it in the teal. Wow. And then in the pink as well. And again, got a great make for those tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for those. This is from a previous collection. I've still got a tiny bit of the deco left in two different colourways. That purple and terracotta. Ooh, now. Yesterday we had that incredible terracotta waterproof fabric, didn't we? Water resistant fabric. Imagine lining it in that. Oh yeah. By the way, well done for those of you that managed to get hold of this. I had a few messages saying, are you getting more? No, I can't. I physically can't. This came onto the marketplace. I've explained, for those of you that know this story and have listened to me say it quite a lot, please forgive me for being repetitive. But basically, the waterproof fabrics that we've had over the last few weeks, due to a retirement somewhere on the chain of events between here and Barber Fabrics, the people that make all the Barber jackets, there's been someone has retired in that chain. And so these fabrics have come onto the market, whereas they wouldn't normally. And I've managed to get hold of them. They should retail at £45 a half metre. We're selling them at 15. We've had kits where we've put them in for free during January, because we know that January is a really tough month for you. So we've tried to as possible with the new Tilda that's coming out. Two of the different colourways we have done the free half metre when you buy a long quarter bundle of those colourways for Tilda. So we've done our best, and we can't do that much longer at all. Like that's generosity limit. That's about as much as we can afford to do for you. So do make the most of this. Yeah, we had gorgeous bundles with that in. In fact, one of them sold out within minutes because we didn't have deep stock of it. And then the other one, if I just show you this over here, was the gorgeous ducks on the duck pond with the sunset. And that was with a 1/2 metre, so they're all 1/2 metres with the sort of chevron-y effect. So, and they go together as a bundle, and when they came in, I just knew that they had to go together as a kit for all of them. So that was what we made yesterday. So well done to those of you that managed to get hold of that. We still do have some of that terracotta waterproof fabric, water-resistant fabric. Gemma's like, can't call it waterproof, it's water-resistant, by the metre, if you would like that. Apparently I'm a little bit metal Mickey. I think we are having at the moment we're having fast fibre or whatever it's called. Maybe that's a horse food. Get confused. Put in up the road, and since they've been doing it, our internet has been really dodgy. Let me try it on a different channel and see if that's any better. And Josh is of the same opinion that until that's done, I don't think there's going to be an awful lot that we can do. So apologies for that, but hopefully the fabulous prices and the beautiful fabrics will make up for it. I would still really like to have like a maxi dress out of this, or a fabulous pair of, is it harem pants? You know, the ones for yoga, the big wide ones. That would be amazing. Anyway, $5.99. Do you know what I'd never noticed? And it's only now I've just put one on top of the other. Look at those two together. Ooh, you've got this in there. You've got this in here. Curious. I'd never noticed. And that's the joy, the absolute joy of the Facet Collective, that when you start mixing and matching them and using them, this is when you start to realise all the different colourways that just work and that play, and you go, actually, oh, I'd do that as an outer and that as a lining, and that would be rather fabulous. So, in our kits today, I have used in some of them. So today's cushion, the one that I was just showing you, we've got this is Case Folk Flower, and we've got it in various different colourways. The trick when looking at these is not to look at the background colour, because you're taking that away. So if you want your flowers to be oranges and pinks, and purples, then that's the colours that you're going to get here. On this one you can see I've got reds and pinks, and I've got sort of maroony colours and teals, but this is from another colourway of this. So it's not looking at the background, it's looking at the actual colour of those flowers, because they're the bits that you're going to use. You've got this lovely hit of green going on there, and I've got a few of those that I can show you in just one moment. But again, if you want to create your own vases, what I love about these is that they don't perish. Gorgeous Geraldine, one of our viewers, every year for our anniversary of Natasha Makes being born, she sends us beautiful flowers. They have hung on since the 10th of January. They're just about to need to go on the compost heap, and that makes me so sad. But with these bouquets, they last a lifetime. And so here you've got reds, you've got purples and blues and mints, you've got all sorts of fabulous colours within these ones. And then here you've got more purples and pinks and blues. Again, so you don't need to look at that background green colour, that's not what you're using. And against this black velvet that we've got, it's absolutely incredible. A word on the black velvet that's in these kits today. The black velvet is not an industrial, an upholstery grade. So it's perfect for long wearing cushions. long wearing, hard wearing, all those things. Now here you've got pinks and maroons and oranges and teals and pinks and purples and oranges. You've got all sorts going on in there. So these ones have got all a beautiful array of colours that you're going to use. So ignore the background colour and just look at the colour of the actual flowers themselves, because that's what you're going to be using when you cut these out. And that's the folk flower. So if you want to create your own bundles, please do feel free to do that as well. Now, what I do when I create these, I tend to do them with some sort of foliage background, and in one of the kits I've used this one. I didn't use this one in the end because I found another colour. But anyway, these work really, really beautifully. This is, I think it's called Fittonia, isn't it? If I remember rightly. Fittonia. Yeah, Fittonia. We had like an entire rainbow of the Fittonia. It was so stunning. This is a Philip Jacobs one, very gorgeous. That's my background leaf. So that was my. It's like when you do any kind of floral display, you have kind of the background fillers, don't you? And that's what I've used those leaves for. In this case, we're going to look at different ways to play with all of these today. But I've got that left in 2 colourways. And that is then it. I thought I had loads of room. Yes, that's going to be fine. I've got lots and lots and lots of room. Turns out I haven't. I never have enough space, do I? And then, what else do we do? Ooh, I've got bolt ends and kits in here. This is, I think this would look great backing a quilt. It's not Snowflower. What the heck's it called? No, it's Snowflower. Look at me doubting myself. That is Snowflower. We've got some bolt ends of those as well. I think that's going to be great backing a quilt. Actually, just with our black PU as well. Very, very sophisticated. Lovely. Then we've got urchins. Couple of colourways of urchins. You've got it in a pastel. You've got it in that lovely blue. And then we've got the tiniest bit of wobble in green. Gemma and I both agreed this is one of our favourites. I've got 1 unit left of wobble in the rainbow colour. Talking of ones, I've got 1 unit left of, actually, whilst we're there. I've got 1 unit left of jungle bead stripe. I have got 1 unit left of the guinea flower. I've got 1 unit left of this incredible green shot cotton from Cave. Oh, they look rather nice, don't they? I've got 1 unit left. Oh, actually, that looks rather gorgeous with that. Of the all the words have gone today. I'm on the verge of a migraine, so just please bear with me because my words are kind of going a little bit. What the Eki Thump is that called? Can't remember. It'll come to me. And then I've got 1 left of the rose and hydrangea. When I said to you about that fabric, the one on the back wall, this is in one of the kits today, by the way. But if you wanted to get the rose and hydrangea, this one is the only one that's not discounted, actually, because it's not part of the collections. But that is in my Everlasting Bouquet that is up on the wall as the original applique. It's just in a different colourway of it. There we go. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I have got 7.5 metres left of the comb stripe. I've got 1 unit left of the coral. Now, these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot cottons from Cave, they've been reduced. I haven't reduced them any further. I can't afford to be honest. These always come in more expensive, oddly, than the printed. But they are absolutely gorgeous. So if you fancy any more of the Sunflower Galvanised and Air Force, then I've got those. I also have a little bit left of your lotus leaf. Oh, now, if ever there was a one that was going to go, oh, yes. Oh, come on now, please, 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 please. If you are getting this and you're going to use it as a lining for a bag, please, 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 can you do it with this incredible terracotta water-resistant fabric that we have, because that is made to go together, surely to goodness. Please, please, please make sure you get both. Actually, that looks rather lovely as well. For a really striking colour, this is going with so many things, because look at this as well. You've got all of these oranges. Look, that colour there. Just gorgeous. So yeah, if you're going for any of these, please. Actually, that one as well. You could do the most stunning bags and have the most incredible linings. And it's only when we get them out and we play with them and they come, oh, amazing. That's fabulous. Well, if the rest of that doesn't sell today, I know what we're going to be rebundling that with. Look at it. Oh, that's just perfect. That's made my day, that has. I do love it when things come together like that. Oh, yes. This is a very happy day. We do like a happy day. Let me get these out of the way. Gemma, I don't know, and you're going to have to just let me know, tip me the wink, as it were, if you have got this one loaded. This is, oh, I know it's very, very hard to photograph this one. This is Lake Blossoms. And I know that I've had a ½ metre off of it. 1, 2, 3. But I reckon we've got at least 4 units on there, Gemma, that could be loaded. And that is very lovely. And actually this would work in here as well, with those big blooms. Be spectacular for this particular make. You can see we've been playing with flange, as you do. Well, we do here anyway. It's one of our favourite things to do. And so this brings me to today's kits. Gonna have to bear with me because I am in creative mode over here. These kits have got, and they are really limited, guys. We are, like I said, we are down to our last bits of these. So we have got ½ metre of our beautiful velvet. That means that you have enough for the front and to do an envelope back, which is really decadent on the amount of fabric that you use, but you can do an envelope back on this, and you have got your flange. So you've got a hot pink flange for this. You have got Pava, you've got the rose and hydrangea, and you've got the palms. Now, it's funny, isn't it? Because when you put those together, you would go, that looks a bit odd. I'm not sure that those go. However, tell you what, they really kind of do. And this has been today's. Now, you see, I could mix that out. I could take that out for that. Mix all sorts of things in and out and through. And this is one of your rose and hydrangea ones. So, you know, we're going to have a little play. Maybe start this one from scratch again. See what we want to add in or not add in. But we're building scenes with these. So whilst the one that I showed you earlier, this one here, this one I started with a sort of almost a heart shape of leaves, and then infilled with the folky type flowers. This one has got your Philip Jacob flowers in there. And then you've got your palms. So this, you've got your spiky leaves here. So this is more like a pedestal arrangement, if you will. So we're going to have a play on how we're going to look and play with these. So that's one particular kit that we've got for you. I cannot make any more. Okay, so these take into account the discounted cave prices. They also then they also give you another further discount, but you have got enough for a cushion. So that cushion there is going to come in at $19.99, which for this style of cushion I think is phenomenal. But I've only got what I've got here. Please do just bear that in mind. I cannot make any more. The beauty of these, of course, is that no two are going to be the same at all. It's just gorgeous. Now this one, this is going to have the turquoise. We've ordered more. That was the last little strip of it, but we're like, yes, that's it. That's the one. And so you have got in here, I'm going to have to remember the name of this now. What the heck is it? Ah, Japonica. And then these, which you'd think, well, does that go? But yeah, it really does, because you've got these blues here, you've got these greens here, and you've got that all in there. And I'm going to show you a little secret with these, because they look like massive blooms, and that's great. And you can have that as sort of the background. And then you can, because I've got one on the go here, look. I've got two different colourways. So I've got one with the pastel and then one, that kit that you've just seen. And again, we will have a look at this. So I started this one, and again, this is another work in progress. We're going to have a look at this one as well. I started this one with kind of a wreath of the large japonicas. This will be bound in that colour. You can see how that picks out all of these. And then these, we're just going to interlace and just build up this beautiful, beautiful wreath. So you're going to have three very different looks if you go for each of these styles of cushion this morning. We'll have a little play with this and just see how we can play with the two different colourways of these that's in each kit. But like I say, this will come with that binding. You can just see how that pulls that together. Not binding. I don't mean binding at all. I mean flange. That is what I mean. And of course, if you're going for more than one kit, or if you're buying any others florals in our kit sale today, then of course you are absolutely good to go. This is the colourway. So this is the one that I've just shown you, where you've got that, and then this one, and this is what I'm about to cut up there to add into that style. So you've got two different colourways with the japonicas. Beautiful, just beautiful. And that will come again with that. That will be in the next 2 days, which is rather fabulous. Okay, so we are 3 kits in so far, and then this is the 4th kit for you today. And this is the one that I've just shown you that we've just finished. You've got your 2 meters of your light orange flange, and this is the sort of thing that you could be making out of this kit here. It's just, it's bright, it's vibrant, it's happy. Love that. Love that. And so we were really careful as well when we chose the coloured flange for these as well, because we wanted them, we really wanted them to go or to clash or to be of a, so that if you went for all 3. We did these before just with Philip Jacob Florals, and it was called, what do we call it? Jacob something. And oh my gosh, Gemma said, well, where are they? Where are the samples from that? I'm like, those samples are my cushions on my kit in Cornwall. They are not coming back. I've got painted, beautiful painted, bright, vibrant painted chairs for around my kitchen table. And each of them has a different cushion like this, appliqué, in cave, beautiful. And I love them, and I love it, and they're always a talking point. Always, always, always. Bolt ends, we've got a few bolt ends for you as well, again at silly prices. This is the Jungle in Brown. This is the last, we've got 2.4 meters of this, as this is the one That's the back, that's that one. And there, cut out. So you've got your pinks and your greens in there. And again, so it's ignore the background if you're using these for applique. Just look at what colour it is on the leaves that you're going to be using. Anyway, I've got one, so maybe you want to use that as a backing for something, I don't know. I've got 3.2 metres left of the snow flower in green. And I've got a 2.4 metre piece left in it in the pink. I have this colourway. And this is your spot in buff. I used this. Did I use it? I used this in one of my sample bags. Because this has been the collection. Was it last September this one came? It was, wasn't it? And do you remember we made these bags? My first sample one had this in it. This was when we first discovered these fold over clips. And we did this with poppers and all sorts. And then, yeah, and we had all of that. It's that collection. It's the end of that collection. Oh my goodness, I've lined so much cork with this KFC fabric. Now I've got a little wallet as well to go with it. Just need to pop that in there. These were a nice little make actually as well. Pop your little cards in there. In your bag and away you go. Woo! So when I say we've made a bit, we really have made a bit out of these. We've not skimped on our makes. No. I've got a 3.2 metre piece of the folk flower in multi. Look, this is going to be gorgeous for it because you've got your pinks and your purples, all sorts. You have got what's left of our japonica, a 1.75 metre piece of the japonica in green. And again, what is left of the bloomers in grey. Beautiful. Although now I really want to use that with... I have got a K Facet Deco in Cool, 1.5 metre piece there. A 1.95 metre piece of the K Facet Contrast Deco. I've got Koi Poloi, one of the best names ever, in green. I have got a Jumble in Emerald, a 3 metre piece there. I've got another Deco in Contrast, a 1.5 metre piece there. And I have got a 1.5 metre piece of the Deco in Hot there. All heavily, heavily discounted for your delectation today. You might not know where you're going to use it, but you are going to use it. Now, the question that will always come up is how do you attach these? How are we going to attach these today? And the answer is very, very easy. I use this stuff. Steamer seam. Now, why do I use this above anything else? So normally, if we're doing things with cork, then it'll be heat and bond, heat and repair, that kind of thing. If I'm doing applique, I will always use steamer seam. Why? Because of this. Because of the fact that it's tacky on the back, and then it comes, so you can use it a bit like fuzzy felt. Remember fuzzy felt? Fuzzy felt used to rock. But yeah, so with fuzzy felt, you just lift it off and put it back on again, and that's effectively what this works like. So you can lift it on and off your ironing mat with ease without everything falling off, and you can reposition, you can play with it. I'd always say take a photo of it, go away, come back again, check that you like it before you finally put it down. We have got that on a deal. Now, with your fat quarters, so you peel off the I really haven't got any words today. You've got one that's got stripes on it, squares, whatever you want to call it. You peel off the opposite side, you put it onto your fabric, and then you bond it with your iron onto there. Okay, now this will go across half of your fat quarter, and that's actually all that you need. So if you wanted to pop another ½ metre of black velvet into your basket, you'd make 2 cushions, and then maybe get yourself a different kind of flange. It just makes these kits even better value for money. So, what will we do with this? Well, let's put this to one side. We'll work on this one first of all. So once it's adhered, what I would then say is get yourself the biggest pair of scissors that you can. Now, you've got a choice. You can go all the way around the outside of these, but they are big flowers. I'm not going to work on this one yet. We'll play with this one in a minute. Just because we've got a couple of different looks going on for today. Oh, the other thing I meant to say to you actually before we get into this is, you know Jane's rather fabulous cushion that she did the other week? You know the one where you can reverse it? Such a clever cushion. So you either have it that way or you spin it around and hook on the other way, and then so you've got sort of 2 cushions in one. These kits were insane value because we gave you the ½ metre of the waterproof fabric, water repellent fabric for free, and that could have been like, this is a twill, a cotton twill, which again has been treated, so again means that you can use it outdoors if you want to. But it's also a heavier weight one, so there was no need to interface anything with these. I have got a few of these kits left, which is what Izzy bought in for me this morning. In terms of Liberty, I've got a handful of those ones left with the navy. I've got the grey cambric with the brush strokes from Shell Rummel. I've got maybe 2 of those left. And I've got 1 of the Lewis and Irene with the starfish in and your buttons. Now these are water repellent fabrics, okay, be they cambrics, drills, whatever it is that they are water repellent. So you can make cushions, you can, but then also bear in mind that they would also be suitable for makes like these. So it's up to you how you use your kits. Entirely up to you how you use your kits, but I just let you know because these bits, these ½ meters were free. You paid for the fat quarters and the buttons and the elastic, and then these bits came in it for free. It was a crazy, crazy, crazy deal. I only have a handful left. When they're gone, they're gone. I just know how January was for a lot of people, so we just wanted to help as much as we could, and I think we did. So, there we go. Let's put that back up on the shelf, up there. Where was I? Oh yeah. So, you're going to start with your square of velvet. Okay. I would start slightly larger than the finished size that you want. So if you want to have an 18-inch finish, I would start with something a little bigger. If you are going to sew these on. You don't have to, because if they're going to be ornamental, then you don't have to. I've started with the pastel, but in your kit you also get this colourway. Okay, now you've got various different sizes here, so you can start to have a little play with size. I'm using these ones for accent and to build on top. So I'm almost using these as a base wreath. Now you might look at this one, for instance, and go, oh, okay, I'll draw around that, but then I've got a big straight bit here. What I would say to you, the way that these are designed and created is that it's very, very easy to cheat it to be the size that you want it to be. So if you don't want to have sort of all big ones, then just take it down a little bit. where you can, I tend to just cut the big chunk and then just trim it back from there, and suddenly you've got a very pretty flower that came out of there, but that was too big, or half of it's missing or whatever, but that's suddenly a different colour that I can bring in. It's another one that I can add in. Maybe I want to have it down there instead of that one. Maybe I want to adjust this one and make this one a little bit more rounded as well. So don't feel like you've got to stick to the shape that they are, especially with the japonicas. They are incredible to use for this because you really can make them the the size that you want them to be. They're perfect for that. So if you go, all right, okay, I'd like just a little bit there, maybe you're just going to take this little centre bit out. And again, you can rough cut, and I would get the biggest pair of scissors that you can comfortably use. Move the fabric as opposed to the scissor where possible. And you see that will go on there. So you can start to bring in all sorts of different shapes, sizes and whatnot in this. This has got fabulous leaves and I really want to. So again, unless I was going to go for the whole thing, I'm just going to rough cut that, and just, I really want to use these kind of leafy bits here. And this is a great job to do in front of the TV or listening to an audiobook. The kids and I are currently working our way through Stephen Fry, reading all of the Sherlock Holmeses. It's like over 60 hours of it. It's great. We love it. Freddie's really into Sherlock Holmes at the moment. And you know, you can just really play with these and decide how you want them to be for the gap that you've got that you might want it to go into. So you've got your bigger ones, so you've got differences in size and everything else. And then when you're ready to use it, peel off the back and place it down. This is the beauty of it. And then if you don't like where something is, you can. You would easily get 2 cushion fronts out of these kits with the japonicas. Easily. Really easily. I mean, look, I've barely touched this, and this is my other fat quarter of my japonica, and I've only used a fat eighth of it. So if you want to, top up with some extra velvet. And the reason that I put these grey ones in is because they infill really nicely, but you've got that real hit of kind of almost like a acid limey type green. So for this one, I think I am going to go with sort of a, yeah, like a wreathy effect. But like I say, you know, might want to tuck that under there. And also these ones are great for giving depth because you can tuck them under so that you've got, so then suddenly this one comes forward and that one goes backwards. And that's why these are really invaluable to add in. Maybe you can have just like a little one just up there, however you want. Maybe you'll tuck some of that under there, bring that down there. But, and don't, you know, if you've got like a half one, you can tuck it under. and have it coming out. Maybe move that round a bit. So you start to get this. I love this. I think this is really spring-like and beautiful. And the contrast between the almost portrait-like florals from Philip and these contrast ones here, you wouldn't necessarily look at and go, oh, no, that could work. But for me, I think it's lovely. Again, it's that little bit of quirk, isn't it? A little bit of quirk just works. So you just peel off and stick down. And the thing is that these are going to look so different depending on which of you might have some extra florals in your stash already from the K Facet Collective that you want to add in, some scraps. Or if you're buying multiple kits from us this morning, then you know you can mix and match. Go, oh, okay, actually, I'd really like to bring in like this one here. I think that's going to be really pretty up there. And that one was from the one with the big poppies, the Papava. So, you know, you'd be able to mix and match those through. Oh, hello. Gemma's messaging me. What does she want? I'm having such a lovely time. I haven't even said good morning to anyone, have I? I've been incredibly rude. I'm so sorry. I've just been having a really nice time with these. I love these, but like I say, guys, when these are gone, these are gone. But play with putting them behind, in front of, and all that kind of thing. Morning, everyone. As well. Good. Good, 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 good. Probably saying, shouldn't I, whilst I'm doing it? However, I'm really enjoying it. And they can just look so different. They can look so different. little afterthought up there. And no two will be the same, which is just fab. Now, you might want to get these kits and do just a long table runner or something in the velvet, or a, what do they call it at the foot of the bed? I call it a cat cosy, but apparently that's not what they're actually called. Bed runner. Ah, I haven't adhered this one properly. Pop that one on. This one I haven't done. So we've got a few different looks with the different kits. It's up to you. You might want to use this as the front of a bag. We've done that before now as well. I had that tucked in, didn't I? That definitely works as well. And again, if you are using these ones with the velvet, again, it's an upholstery grade velvet. I do rather love this. But you see, this is now safe to then take to the iron. Right, let's talk about steaming. Let's talk about steaming with velvet. Okay. Because it's not what you would normally do with velvet, but like I say, guys, this is upholstery level, so it's got a little bit more scope than just the decorative stuff. I could carry on doing this for years, and I would get different looks with each one. I'm going to hover. Okay, it would help if I turn the steam back on. I will hover. I'll let that just reheat. I would hover that above it and give you the steam from there. That's how we're going to do that. I guess you could do it from the back, to be honest. The only problem with this is that you do get bits. Bits everywhere. I was sitting in bed last night cutting these out until goodness knows what hour last night. And yeah, woken up this morning and they're just threads all over the bed. Oh, I have made a proper mess. Well done me. Anybody that knows me will not be even remotely surprised by this at all. Do you know, it's really hard as a parent when you are messy and creative everywhere to then even try and tell your kids to keep anything clean. And I know that at some point they are going to just look at me and go, we just learn by example, Mum. That's it. So, whilst that iron heats up, let's have a look at... So this was the kit for this one with the grey, wasn't it? Those did that kit. Good. Good. And then we've got... Gosh, they're the ones that Emily cut out. Those there as well. And then we've got... I sort of try and keep them in sort of family groups for the actual fabrics themselves. So this is the kit, and you can see with the palms, with these are my ones, and this is what I've got left. It's great to be able to show you this actually, because this is what I have got left. So I've still got a fat eighth of each of these. I've just sort of snuck up into that with each of these and got plenty left. So let's have a little look at this, shall we? Because as you can see, this is going to be a very different look to that. And I could have created a very different look with this one. As you can see, with this one here, we're building a scene quite beautifully, and I would probably pop that in there. But it doesn't need to have been. I can swap various things out. So with this one, I started with the main palm leaves here. We can rebuild it, can't we? Like I say, it's like fuzzy fat. That's the very, very beauty of it. So when people take their makeup off and they go, oh, crikey, it did not look like that. So this was my starting block. And this whole thing has been based around this palm leaf. So I'm going to keep that centre. I'm going to move it up a little bit now. So you've got still on your fat quarter, you've still got like another big main palmy bit like this. You've still got that to do. Now, I layered up various bits here, tucked that under there. And created more greenery in there, and I think I might have brought in a flower there, and then I'd created a little bit more movement over here and brought that down there, and I might again want to just bring in another little bit of that purple flower, and then I'd put that in. Now I've got quite a large gap here, which is initially where I put this really big one, but if I wanted a completely different feel, then I could always bring this in here might even want it growing up there, or I might want to just trim this bit off here. If that doesn't work to my advantage, then I'll take that out. I can always add it back on. So maybe I'm going to want to have that there. I quite liked actually having that coming out in there, so I might pop that back in there. What do we think? And we haven't even started on using these leaves yet. We might want to then bring that down there so that we're balancing that bit out. Almost have that coming up through there. But then maybe we might want to have that through there, or that coming out there. And I did have at one point so, you know, if I don't use this massive piece, then I could have that as a starting block for another. Well, let's see. Because do you remember this is a starting block was here, wasn't it? It's funny, isn't it? Because when it comes down to actual flowers, I don't have a clue. Just be aware of where your seam allowance is going to be. So I'm going to have to bring that in a little bit, or trim it back a little bit. But I'm sort of trying to build this up through here, and I might want to add a little rosebud in there, or even a few little rosebuddy bits. Just nestling and growing out of there. And this is where, you know, you really do get to choose. I just love what you get to do with this. Now I've got some quite interesting bits here. Do I want to use that sort of in there? I think I'd quite like a little bit of something in here. But again, you know, you can really grow these. And if I want to put some more greenery in there, oh, actually that was quite, or maybe even not even such a large piece. Have that come out from there and layer everything up. Then you can. And of course you can cut these back if you're not happy with the size of them. Trim them back and make them exactly how you want them to be. Oh, yes. Have a play. I could be, and also the thing is to look at it upside down. This was a trick my dad taught me when I was learning how to draw. I'd spend hours on my art homework and he'd say, look, go away, come back, turn it around upside down. Because when you do that, you start to see where there are gaps, where there's something that you might want to fill in. And he was always quite right, because the brain is always looking for symmetries, it's looking for things, and if it's and so you've got this incredible bloom coming up. Maybe I could have put that in there if I'd have wanted instead. But you start the feel for it. But you see, maybe when I start on this one, I might have that coming out from there. And I've got enough to start a second. But as a starting point, you know, here we are. Do I want to have a little bit more coming up through there? Possibly. Or do I want to pop that, trim that back and have that there? Yeah, that looks quite nice. But I've got all of these lovely, lovely, lovely large florals to play with on another one. There's plenty to go at, and you've seen how I've basically used a fat eighth. So if you are thinking of doing this, do I want that there? Oh no, hang on a minute. Ooh. I'd rather have that in there. And then like I say, this is just a lot of fun to work with. And there's no right or wrong, it's just whatever brings you joy. And you know what? Isn't that just a beautiful thing? Does this bring me joy? Yep, great. It's right! Hooray! Oh yeah. I honestly, you could find me here for hours and hours and hours just playing, filling. Do I want that to come down into there? Do I want to put another flower in there? It's so addictive and it's so lovely. So when I say turn it upside down, take a photograph of it as well, turn it upside down. Is there anywhere obvious that's missing that you kind of look and you go, right, do I need something else in there or not? But it's got to be. So we've got 3 very different styles. But all using the same technique. So it is just a matter of grabbing whichever one, or maybe you do want to have all of them and have that continuity of designer and texture with the velvet. I don't know, look, it's up to you. It's entirely up to you. The other thing that, and then what you do, so you're going to steam these down. Like I say, just hold it, hover it above your velvet. Now, if you are happy with what's the word I want? Free motion embroidery, do that. If not, just straight stitch around. It doesn't have to be tricky. No one's going to be looking at that. Honestly. But if you want to have these and use these, I use mine cushions every single day. Like I say, they are high wear. So I was glad that I went into each of these and took the time, to sew around. And that's it. I've just wished it. That was the one, wasn't it? That was the one that didn't have. Ah, no. Where am I glue? Oh, hang on. What about this glue pen? There you go. And then you stitch them down. But like I say, I would go larger than trim back. So I will trim these back a little bit. This one I did this is an 18-inch. This is a 20-inch. This has been cut back to an 18-inch. But this has got a much bigger pad in it. I don't need a pad in it quite that big. If it has a smaller pad in it, we'll actually be able to see everything that's there. So I've tried to do sort of different colourways. You've got your greens and your peachy colours in there, and then you've got your pastels and your teals and your aquas in there as well. So you've got different colourways. You've got 2 different colourways of this, because you've got one without the pink, haven't you? You've got one with more blues in. So have a play. And like I say, if you want to top up on your extra velvets, then you'd get 2 cushions from a kit and then just grab yourself some extra flange. Or you can make your own binding with just cord, your own flange with cord and a plain fabric. So it's up to you. Or maybe you don't want to. Maybe this is too much for you. I don't know. It's entirely up to you. The other thing, just to remind you of... Oh, by the way, for those of you doing the Natasha McCarthy Designs workshop on Monday, I've got one of these Liberty Cuddle Cow kits left. Just one. Just one. They are in the post ready to go to you. From yesterday's show, just to recap, these have sold out, but we do still have some of the waterproof and the terracotta that's cut to wood down to, I don't know if this sold out in the end. This has got a waterproof poly cotton in there with your floral midnight. Again, silly. This, we had 2 of these with your cambric, again, water resistant fabric there, and then you've got your gorgeous canvas. So these two were canvases because they went perfectly with this make out of canvas. Gorgeous. We had, these were we had most stock of this, and it was selling quite rapidly because the price on this, it's like a 20 quid saving on this, which is insane, but I just love this moss green with this. This is a Sahara wax. So the Sahara wax it doesn't have a waxy finish. It is wax, but it doesn't have a wet wax finish. It's got like a dry wax finish. And it's going to be great for your bag making. I was down to the last handful of these bears. And this is with a black cambric. We've never had a black cambric before, and I only had like 2 meters of black cambric cut to order, well, pre-cut rather. And then we had 7 of the moss green, and that was all we had in that wax, but dry wax. There you go. And that's a washable wax, that moss, by the way. That's a washable wax, which just blows my mind that you can wash wax. So that is today's show. That's a little recap on yesterday's show. So you would sew around, and then, as we have done on numerous occasions with your flange, we're waiting for the flange to come in, else I would show you. But I can show you a bit. Jane's demoed this as well. Now, Jane and I vary because I will put quilter's wash away tape on this and baste it down. And that's what I will always do. Jane doesn't ever feel the need to do that. And then with a zip foot, just sew it in as close as you can to it. And that's it. If you are worried about going around corners, just do straight strips like that. On this one, I'll tell you, we had lots of short strips left. And so you can see that's what we've done across here. Rather than having to go around corners and worrying about going around corners, straight strips that overlap, and then it gives you this lovely finish in the corner. That's your easiest way to do it. And that's how we've done these in the past. I have demoed, when we did the original Jacob's Florals, I did demo putting all of that in. But I'm going to go before this headache gets any worse. So thank you very, very much. Tomorrow we do a spiral case. Crikey, I've just seen the time. Wowzers. Yeah, you can load more of the black velvet, that's fine. I don't know if you can hear me anymore. I say and then stop talking. That's really helpful, isn't it? I don't know if you can hear me, and then I stop talking. Oh, I've got one. I'm going to have to do another one. Thank you ever so much for watching today. We will have more black velvet cut to order for you. I don't know if that has now sold out, but we can always get some more in of that for you. Yeah, just have fun and enjoy these. They're such a talking point. Even if you've got sort of that boring chair in the corner, pop one of these on and just watch it come to life. That black velvet really sets off these fabrics. So thank you ever so much for watching. Tomorrow we will have spiral, 1-zip spiral cases. They're fun. They're really fun. And we will see you tomorrow. So take care. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please feel free to like and share the video so that we spread the word, because we're only here because you're here. So thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Bye-bye.